Good evening. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Wednesday, December 15th. I'm about to pass out. I feel pretty tired here at 7:30 p.m. But I don't have to wait for this video to upload before I go to sleep. I think I've gotten 8 hours of sleep total the last 2 days, because last night was a kind of a funny story. I woke up in the middle of the night. I had no idea what time it was. My phone was dead. Even though I plugged it in before I went to sleep, it wasn't charging. So it was like at 1%, wouldn't turn on. I had no idea what time it was, because it's getting dark here at 4:30, and the sun's not coming up till after 7 p.m. So I had no idea. So I ran out to the freaking living room to check the clock to make sure I wasn't late for work or missed work or anything, because massive panic. I got out there. It was like 1:45 in the morning. My roommate was cooking, because he's a night owl, so he was cooking some dinner at that time of day. He was looking at me oddly. I don't blame him, but massive panic. I ended up just staying up at that point, since I had to get up in an hour anyway, so I wanted to make sure my phone was charging. I went to sleep at about 9, woke up around 1:45, so maybe 9 hours of sleep the last 2 days, so I'm definitely not going to be up a whole lot longer. But this will be my defense special teams video for week 15. It's the first round of the playoffs, as I said yesterday. It's a really good week for defenses. I've got 15 defenses I want to talk about here. So my top 10 for the week is Dolphins versus the Jets. The Jets are awful, and the Dolphins are coming off a bye. And the Dolphins defense has really been pretty outstanding for the last month or so. Then we got the Cardinals at the Lions. The Lions will probably be shorthanded again. And the Cardinals defense is one of the top 5, possibly even top 3 defenses, depending on your scoring system in fantasy football. The Cowboys defense at the Giants. Again, the Giants are bad. Mike Glennon is the quarterback. Cowboys defense is good. Probably a good week to start the Cowboys. Bills defense versus the Panthers. I think the Bills are a little angry. They've had a tough schedule lately, had a tough go of it. And the Panthers are kind of reeling. Panthers are trending way downward. The Panthers were one of my playoff picks coming into the season, and they started the season off really well, but they've definitely fell off a cliff lately, and so it's been so bad that their offensive coordinator's already been fired. Their head coach is on the hot seat already. I like the Bills defense this week as a top 5 play. 49ers defense against the Falcons. Falcons offense. Falcons offense I wouldn't say it's terrible, but the Falcons aren't winning a lot of games. The 49ers have really been coming on a lot. Have been looking really good lately. Sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I don't want to do that on camera. So hopefully it'll hold off for a few more minutes. Buccaneers defense against the Saints. Now, I know the Saints have the Buccaneers number over the last couple of years. Tom Brady has not beaten the Saints in the regular season since he came to Tampa Bay. The Saints are 3-0. But the Buccaneers do have a really good defense, even if it's not one of the better fantasy defenses this week. I actually just dropped the Buccaneers defense this week because I had better defenses on the waiver wire. I just didn't need the Buccaneers defense anymore. But they should have a good week against the Saints, because Taysom Hill, despite being a great fantasy quarterback, is not a very good real life quarterback. Next, the Browns defense against the Raiders. Titans defense at the Steelers. Titans coming off no, they're not coming off a bye. They played last week. But they're pretty decent defense lately, and the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger is 38 going on 78. So then we got the Patriots defense at the Colts. I think the Colts offense is going to. I think the Colts are going to play well. I don't know if the Patriots defense is going to have an outstanding week, but the Patriots defense is so good, they kind of have to be in the top 10 conversation. And Carson Wentz, as good as he is when healthy, he is prone to mistakes sometimes. And lastly, the Eagles defense against the Washington football team. Eagles have been a mid-pack defense most of the year. They're a pretty safe bet to be a top 10 defense again for this week. Some defenses outside my top 10 who I think could potentially have good weeks, starting with the Packers. Packers at the Ravens. Now, if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, then there's much more potential for the Packers defense. But even with Lamar Jackson out there, Lamar Jackson's been struggling lately. He's hobbled. He may not be 100%. And the Packers defense, surprisingly, I was shocked to find this out when I was looking for defenses this last week, that the Packers are one of the top 6 defenses in fantasy this year. I had no idea. They definitely snuck up on me, and I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the Packers. But, yeah, I don't know. Their defense in real life isn't all that good, but fantasy in PPR format, PPR scoring, they're one of the better defenses, and I was shocked. So I did pick them up last week against the Bears. I don't think it helped me any, but I won most of my matchups. Bengals defense looked really good early on in the season. They have kind of struggled recently, which was excuse me, to be expected. But they are facing the Broncos offense, which is very conservative, very not exciting, very ordinary. So the potential for a good week, just on the sheer fact that they don't give up a lot of points, is possible. And Teddy Bridgewater, could throw some interceptions. Colts defense against the Patriots. I really like the Colts defense season long. I think they haven't been as dominant as they were last year, but they're still one of the top 7 or 8 defenses in fantasy. And the Patriots have a rookie quarterback who, though he looks really good, is still a rookie. Colts could probably fluster him a little bit, confuse him a little bit, maybe force some turnovers. And I'm not sure the Patriots offense really is going to put up a lot of points against the Colts. And a low-scoring game is always good for fantasy. And then we got the Texans and the Jaguars playing each other. 2 really bad teams, really bad defenses. But because they're such bad teams, the defense could be streaming options for you this week if you're desperate here in the first round of the playoffs. I like the Jaguars a little bit more because the Jaguars do have some talent on that defense, because they've had a lot of high draft picks lately, and they spent a lot of money on defense in the last couple of years. Plus, they're not that far removed from when they were the top defense in fantasy. Wasn't even that long ago. Wasn't it like 3 years ago? They still have a lot of those guys on that team. So the Jaguars defense should be better than it is. The problem with the Jaguars defense really is the Jaguars offense isn't doing them any favors, and so but the Jaguars against a really bad team, the Jaguars are definitely in the streaming tier for me this week. Texans too, a little bit less so, just because the Jaguars or the Texans just don't really have any difference makers anymore. They've got J.J. Watt's moved on, Whitney Merciless moved on, Zach Cunningham's gone. Justin Reed, I think, is still there. I don't even know. I can't even name another person on the Texans defense. So, yeah. But, definitely a deeper defensive list than what I've had previously. So, there should be plenty of options out there for you. But I'm going to end this video and probably, probably go to sleep. But I do want to eat some ice cream and watch another episode of Schitt's Creek. I'm trying to finish this show. It was not as good as everybody made me think it was. I really didn't start laughing. Season 4 was pretty good. I'm in season 5 now. Just started season 5, so I'm hoping to see how this show ends here soon. But season 1 through 3, nothing to write home about. I'm just a really stubborn person, and so I didn't give up on it. But I probably should have, like I did Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was a show that everybody raved about it. I just couldn't get into it. I watched season 1, quit for a while, and was like, oh, yeah, season 1 sucks. You gotta watch season 2. You'll really get into it in season 2. I watched season 2. Terrible. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not watching season 3. I'm not gonna listen to these people anymore. I'm giving up. So I have not finished Breaking Bad. That's the one show that I just didn't finish. But Schitt's Creek, I'm over the halfway point now, so I'm gonna finish it. I've always been that kind of person. Like, if I get, the hardest part is getting to the halfway point for me. If I get to the halfway point or past the halfway point, at that point, I'm gonna finish what I start. So, because it's all downhill from there. That's just my mentality, the way I've always thought of things. So, yeah. So there's only 6 seasons. So I'm in season 5. I'm gonna finish this thing out and give you a more educated opinion on the entire show. So, all right, peace, love, and nacho fries. Hang loose. Again, good luck this week with your matchups. I know some leagues haven't started playoffs. I do have a couple of leagues that haven't started their playoffs yet. They'll start next week. And a lot of leagues, especially if you're in like a free league on ESPN, you got the 2-week playoff, which I think is so dumb. Playoffs should only ever be 1 week. But if you're in one of those leagues where it's a 2-week playoff, it's just week 1. But it's imperative that you have a good week 1. It'll obviously you want to be ahead going into week 2 instead of behind, right? So plus it kind of demoralizes your opponent a little bit, makes them think, especially if you blow them out week 1, it makes them think, okay, well, I'm probably gonna lose, so they may give up, which part of me says you always want to beat an opponent at their best, right? But I just want to win. Really, that's more important to me, is to win. And if I can win the mental game by demoralizing them, that's, you beat them twice. So, all right. I already did my sign off and salutations. And I said I was done 3 minutes ago, so I'm done for sure this time. Like I said, I'm stubborn. I mean what I say. I'm done. Good night.